from the World Championships last year, but they've taken on Rakiras, formerly from Badzinger, one of the most amazing Lalo players in the entire game. And they've taken on Fluxy, also an amazing hitter. And oh, we are already in the action, ready to go with Nebrak starting this one off.
Jumping straight into it, starting off with the Super Dragons. And we saw an award just with the Queen Walkers. They started off with the Super Dragons, and Nebrak is doing the same. Super Dragons are a great attack to start off the wars when you don't have too much planning to do, and it's a very strong attack. Moving his way in with the Grand Warden, the balloons, going straight into the Eagle, the Scout Shot. But notice the Town Hall is on the complete opposite side, so it's a risk sending them through. So pop that ward ability, finds the Tornado Trap. So BSW was potentially thinking that this was going to happen, so he put the Tornado Trap there, but he still has the warded ability, and he perfectly uses it to protect that Battle Blimp.
Yeah, just got to clip it right through the edge to make the pass here, but it's this clone minion combination that makes it easier because you can open up a little bit earlier before going to the Town Hall. When you have any singles or surrounding defenses that can really harm the dragons, this is a good way to go about it, and they of course get that great reach to the Town Hall. So perfect CC troop combination, cloning up those super minions to come in. And look how many super drags we have left over here, cutting through the pass. And the Royal Champion, who's not even yet on the board here, Carvin.
Incredible. He sends now the Royal Champion into the multi-target Inferno, but Tribe Gaming is known for coming in with super minion blimps to help grab values like that. And down the air defense goes. We got Tesla Farm. Going to pop the RC ability with 2 freezes to use. And a beautiful 3-star coming in from Nebrak of Tribe Gaming to start this one off.
Absolutely stunning way to kick this off. You can see the excitement on his face here. The team definitely proud to get the strong 3-star start. Going to put them in a good position. And, you know, this is really what sets the tone of the war. When you can throw down the 3-star, you're putting the pressure on your opponent to have to match up, because any slip-ups here really put that first team in the advantage point.
Yes, absolutely. We saw it in the previous one where they came in with the 3-star to start, and then, or in terms of Space Station, was a 2-star, and that sets the momentum in these matchups. And that's what you want to keep your eye on. What do the players answer? Are they going to be putting up the 14-star performances? Because that's what you have to do to stay competitive in this tournament, this bracket of all these pro teams taking on each other. But Super Dragons was a great attack to start off and getting the triple. Now we're going to have to see what Vatang is going to do with their answer, because they love to do Lalo attacks, and these teams have faced each other so many times, so they definitely know what the players love to do. And let's see if they've got some bases prepared for them.
We'll have to see. You know, Vatang has also been known for some of their incredible defenses over the years, and I think that's what I'm hoping to see from them, to try and hold Tribe back. But Tribe is a very strong team, which we were talking about earlier with the addition of Rakiras, but you've got a lot of Lalo players as well on that team, which makes them almost equally matched in thought process of how to try and defend against each other. So this really will be an interesting matchup between the two.
It will be indeed, coming in with some beautiful attacks. And here is the next one. And this is the Hydra. In terms of the Dragon Riders with a double clone. First time we're seeing it here today. And the Dragons, the balloons are down, moving his way in with the Battle Blimp. He's going to try to pop that one belly, protect it, and he does. It includes that Blimp, which gets hit by the Sinking Air Mine and pushed back by the Sweeper. Now using the freeze to help try to push that Blimp all the way across to the Town Hall, or at least close to it. And he misses the clone spell of the balloons.
Completely missed out on that one. I honestly was expecting to see the minions, the super minions coming into this with the leading single targeting Inferno, the CC there, the Town Hall, and unfortunately went a little bit belly up, but the Dragons are on course to try and take on this Town Hall, has the freezes to invest to hold this off, and there's even a split up top. Right now, they are looking to save the 2-star here, but do have some hero support to try and rein it back in.
still have the Royal Champion to send in for that multi in the middle from the complete left side if he wants to. But that Queen's ability, it has been forced, and he decides to send the Royal Champion to the bottom side where the King is, to try to maybe provide a little bit of distraction, but doesn't look like that's going to work here. With one freeze, the RC makes her invisible, so it takes her down. Has a few dragons, but can this still get the 3-star? Ability goes off. We've got the scatter shot now finally going down, but these dragons are super low health, and it's not going to be a triple here. And Fluxy holding with the 84% 2-star, and that is a strong defense. If they're looking to put up high 90%, but that is a really solid defense there from Fluxy. And it's just the clone did not grab the balloons to clone up the balloons in the core of the base to provide just the overwhelming amount of destruction, and it's just missed it by the one tile.
Yeah, and that kind of combination is one that I always find very risky to come in with Alloons for that far of a pass coming in, which is why a lot more times we see those super minions, especially with the spread and some of those surrounding single targeting defenses. It makes it a lot trickier to get that full pass in. The double clone would have helped out quite a bit, but like you said, missing the mark there is really what hit. But you got to commend for the fact that he was able to recover that to a 2-star to a reasonable percent, keeping the dragons on course and using what he had left to ensure that he could get the 2-star, because the last thing you want to do is start off with a 1-star war.
Yeah, absolutely. You do not want to be starting off with the 1-star in a war of like this with everything on the line. This is the upper bracket, so if you lose, you still have a chance. You will be going down to the lower bracket, but the team you would face down there, the Endompanai, which is not going to be an easy task. Every single matchup in this tournament at this point is going to be such a difficult matchup there, but they're trying. The teams are here. They worked so hard to get to this point, but if they get eliminated and they don't come in the top 3, then that's no prize money that would be awarded to them. So they have to do their absolute best to get at least into 3rd place. But this is the upper bracket they're trying to take on, because the winner of this match, anyone that's just joining, is taking on Queen Walker's Stephanie, waiting at the upper bracket finals. And then the winner of that will go to the grand final match, which we still have tomorrow. So there's still today and tomorrow so much to come. You don't want to miss it. But this is the next deck from Fluxy, who just defended, and he's coming in with the Queen Church Dragon Riders. He's got 9 balloons in the mix.
And so King starting to section off the path here, and we see a nice easy funnel coming into that scatter shot position. This is allowing the Queen not only some tank for those oncoming defenses, but giving her the course to work into that town hall compartment. We of course have the charge to come in, delaying those healers until it's a little bit safer to move along. And I do like the added use of those sneaky goblins, taking on the structures to the outside edge, trying to make sure that there is nothing that can obstruct this Queen, pull her off course, but also will keep her on time to take on this town hall. Now we drop the invisibility spell and freeze combination to keep her alive and well without having to burn through that ability, because we know how important it is to try and keep it powering through to the core of the base.
Yeah, notice how he used those balloons on the single to try to take that down, but it's still barely up. He wanted to try to do his best to keep that Queen ability. That's why he had an invisibility spell. But unfortunately, that single forced this Queen, forced the use of all those freezes. So now he doesn't have it for his Dragon Rider portion. Moving his way through, fighting a double, triple. No! 3 spring traps, launches all the headhunters right there as he continues to push his way to the top side. So he's got to rely on whatever the side of this stone slammer to take out the Queen, but it might just be balloons and another Dragon Rider at this point, which it is.
Oh, rages it up though to try and get through the defenses, but is not able to take them down. The entire core left defending this base is going to give Tang the defense that they were hoping for, and a massive one at that, as the Queen just dies out. This percentage is not where Fluxy needed to see. off of that defense that he came on, this is going to be a tough turnaround. We do have the archers on the outside edge with some extra cleanup available here. Could push us into around the 70%, but that is going to be quite a bit low for what Tribe Gaming want.
It is going to be lower than the Vatang. That is the number you have to keep in mind, the percentage of your opponent, and this is going to fall short. Meaning, if Vatang triple their next attack, they will be taking the lead just like that. So this matchup will be going back and forth between the two, which is just showing you how even this matchup will be. And Fluxy grabbing a little bit more with the archers. 69, he can get 70, 71 for these final two collectors. There it is, with about just under 3 seconds to go. Fluxy, great effort right there, but unfortunately the Dragon Riders were unable to move in from the top side, and every single one of his headhunters did find a spring trap and got launched, so he couldn't pick off the enemy queen that was hitting his Dragon Rider.
Yeah, this made it for an unfortunate approach, but this is the kind of defenses too that we're talking about. Vatang being able to bring in, knowing where to place those marks and really make the impact to get the most value out of those spring traps. And that's what they're meant for. They're meant to, especially with the headhunter positions, it's not often that you get to see it come into play. But kudos to Vatang for being able to hold back a player like Fluxy. This does put Vatang in a pretty good position at this point, but there's so much of this match left that we really could see anything. And with the defenses starting to fly through, it really is heating up.
It really is. And now PSW coming in with the Super Dragons with 8 rocket loons. But how is he going to do this in terms of having this FlameFlinger taking out the town hall? So you have to be very careful in terms of ground skellies in this area that can take out your FlameFlinger, because you tend to put skellies, you put Teslas if you think that's what they're going to try to use to take your town hall down. That's why he also has an earthquake to activate this, but he also uses a bat in front to help provide a bit of a distraction for the rocket loons to move into the Eagle artillery so that they can go in and take that down. Beautiful use of just the one bat spell there.
Very nice investment on that. And I like the way that he's already sectioning this off. We only have 3 super drags. We know the power that the super drags offer, but only using 3 seems a little bit scary. But he's already taken down the sides of the bases. Town Hall's going to go down to the FlameFlinger, and we've got a nice big push coming in through the core of the base. So he's really taken on some of those key items, with the scatter shots being the biggest worry now.
Yeah, now the Super Dragons are pushing their way to the middle with Headhunters running off, uses one freeze to help take that one hunter down. Moving his way, the one Super Dragon does path to the multi. The FlameFlinger opens with Dragon Rider and balloons coming out of it. Still has the Royal Champion and hasn't even deployed the King yet in this raid.
King coming in from that bottom side of the base for that back end scatter with the Royal Champion, but with the power that these Super Drags are still offering, has so much fight left. Drag Rider right there up with the Queen to take on the single targeting Inferno, freezes it up to give it that final fighting chance to take it on. And we are witnessing so much swag coming in from PSW. Forces that King ability, but we've got freezes that are not needed. We've got an invisibility spell that is not needed, and he has absolutely dominated through the space, bringing the 3-star home and keeping Vatang now in the lead.
That was beautiful a job, using a bat spell and the rocket loon to move in towards the Eagle artillery and take that down. The bat spell was providing the distraction to the air defense so that the rocket loon can move in. So that was an absolutely brilliant plan right there to get that value. And because there was no splash in the area to help take those bats down. So now we're looking at the percentage, and Vatang now take the lead. It's all tied up 5-5. but Vatang are ahead on percentage because of their higher percent 2-star fail to what Fluxy came in with, which was only the 71%. So that is going to be a big differential in this war here. But can Tribe come in with a 3-star to answer? Because at this point, they're going to have to do it, because this war is looking like it's going to be up to 13, 14 stars. So those small mistakes are going to add up.
Yeah, we'll have to see defensively what Tribe has brought today to the mix. And we talked about that earlier, where it is difficult when you have players that do know each other so well and their styles, especially when they play similar styles, because they're looking at those different factors when they're testing and saying, well, this is how I would approach it. And that's where we often see the baiting coming in quite easily to hold back a lot of these well-known teams. But nonetheless, we've got Riquirez coming in. It looks like they're bringing in the reinforcements. He is known as one of the best Lalo players in the game. And this is all we see him come in with. But we've got the Zapquake Lalo Blink coming in early to take down the Town Hall, sending in those sneaky goblins to take it down nice and fast. And let's see where we get this Zap combination coming in from to help make the connection for the heroes.
And notice he has 6 lightning spells here. So he wants to, typically only requires 5 and an earthquake to take out a Inferno Tower. So he wants to get a little bit extra there with these, freezing up the super minion. The Queen's going in, and there is the lightning used onto the single target Inferno to help take that down. The earthquake was used, and the Royal Champion's ability going off to the bottom side, but we got a bunch of ground skellies and some Teslas popping up down there. But his Royal Champion's looking like she's making her way through that bottom compartment, and this Queen, don't tell me this Queen's gonna path her way into the clan castle and make her way to the core. Yes, she is. That's some incredible pathing for this Queen.
Wow, that opening in the wall giving her every bit of access needed to clear out the core of the base. And that Royal Champ just hung on by the skin of her teeth to take down that scatter shot and give this Lalo the passing that it needed. Queen even taking down the King, that pesky air defense there. She's able to take out, and this Lalo has all the push it needs to carry through now.
He's moving his way through the Eagle Artillery, going towards the top side scatter, and decides to send an Ice Hound up there. Pops the Warden ability, protects the Headhunters to take out the enemy Royal Champion. And this Ice Hound, once it pops, will freeze the scatter shot up. Needs to move his way into the multi. And he's trying to get there with the balloon and the Headhunter assistance, pulling some red air bombs. He's got to push his way up to the top. The Headhunter makes his way through. The balloon does some damage. Now a few more balloons pat there to take it out. And at this point, it's looking good for Riquirez.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the split of the balloons because of the splash, but the tornado trap and traps almost hold us off. But the minions have it under control. And he just needs his cleanup coming through. Ooh.
Wow. Remember, you have to keep in mind, if you have at least one ice pup from the Ice Hound, it will freeze the defense and slow it down. So he had a few there, which would also come into play as the balloons move their way around to the edge, which would slow them down there. But that was such a close one to the end. But hey, at the end, it is a 3-star, right? Comes away with that, and now forcing Vatang to have the triple to then take the lead again.
Yeah, Vatang's still in a very good position, but the more triples that come through as these teams stay tied up, it does start building up the pressure to perform and to make sure that you have no slip-ups. And I think that really is the biggest thing that we do see, is that the pressure can play into it, and we see small, minor mistakes along with some of the exceptional base building that can sneak up easily on any of these top players. But so far, I mean, these teams are certainly impressing, and the way that they've all fought to get their way in here, they certainly deserve where they've come to this point.
Absolutely. They've played through the qualifiers to be in the top 2 out of all the teams playing. And those were long days just to qualify to get to this bracket. And now Lalo coming in with another Lalo attack with the Ice Hound as well. And he's got a mix in a heal spell to potentially protect the balloons as he makes his way through a core base, which we typically see a bunch of red air bombs. But this king making his way through the enemy king, the eagle, and grabbing all this value to push that queen to the left, and using that skeleton spell to provide the distraction for his queen so she can get the value into the enemy queen.
Yeah, the skeleton spell is such a nice value to use because you're not having to take it up with a golem or a giant, and it lasts pretty long to give just a bit of what you need coming through, especially with this invisibility spell to carry her along and start cleaning up what we need to push through. But we still have the Royal Champion to come into play, and this is a very wide pass working in. Now, you mentioned the heal that we have come through. We often do see that in the core, particularly with multi-sections. So as a Royal Champ takes on that scatter shot, we are going to have to see that come to fruition. But we do have the Stone Slammer that can also come in through the core, soak up the traps, and take that inline edge as well.
And now the Royal Champion has two pets with her. Yeah, she has the Unicorn and the Lassie. Look at that, Royal Champion. Getting both of the assistants there. The Royal Champion is now making her way to the core, but she will be going down. But this is why he's taking 2 poisons, so that he can poison up the Headhunters and the Super Minions into this base as he flies around, and he can send that Stone Slammer straight into that core multi-target Inferno as a back end to move his way around if he wants. But he pops the board ability through the Town Hall and decides to send the Stone Slammer to the bottom side, and it is going to get pushed back by the Sweeper. So let's see, as these balloons path around, can he keep the momentum alive?
Wow, that heal absolutely stunning to keep the main pack of troops coming into that multi-air sweeper, though, threatening it. But with the Warden and Electro Owl there, they knock it out nice and fast. And the position from the Stone Slammer to take on the back-end multi, work through the opposite air sweeper, has really helped power this through. Absolutely stunning display of Lalo ability and splitting it up in a very different pathing from what we are accustomed to seeing.
And look at the name. All you gotta change is one letter of the name, and it becomes a Lalo. Rollo coming in with the Lalo. Beautiful job. A 3-star indeed. And he makes it look so easy when he does that. And Lalo is probably the hardest attack to do in the game, just in a general attack style, because people are like, yeah, I'm an air attacker. But typically it's with some sort of dragon attack, not with the balloons, because it's so hard to use the Lava Hound and then even the Ice Hound like that, because you want to try to get the value from when the Ice Hound pops, the freeze effect. It's not easy. They make it look like that, but man, it's just incredible to watch what they could do.
They really do. And, you know, even with Lalo, it's all about the placement of the loons, how many loons you're bringing in collectively to hit each defensive item and keep the momentum moving along while also using your spell combination at the same time. It is probably one of the biggest multitasking strategies that we have in the game. But you're right, it's the Ice Hound that really adds it to an extra level, that you can see the thought process behind these pro players in how they choose to use it, but it really matters in the timing of which they execute it.
And they do it beautifully in this war right here. And now Kronos is going to answer with a Super Dragon attack of his own. Starting off with the lightning to the top side. Wants to help grab the value to stop. Let's see if this blimp helps go for the Town Hall. Typically, we may see... Oh! We got a double Sneaky Airmine. We got Sneaky's multi-mortar right there. And will the Sneakies, they do go for the storage, forces him to use the invisibility spell to help force him to go to the Town Hall right there.
I always, my heart stops always at that angle of the invisibility spell over that Town Hall. Just a fraction of a tile difference, and you have lost your Sneaky Goblins going to that Town Hall, but does it well. gets the drags in. We're seeing a lot of super drags today coming in from Tribe Gaming. Like you said, quick decision makes it a lot easier for the planning, but it also has a lot of power. So because we've taken down the town hall, we've eliminated that poison bomb to go through. Queen works on the outside edge with the king taking a pretty big frontline lead, but we want this queen ability reserved coming in to help with the push on the back end, but also keeping the drags trained through the center of the base. So drops this rage down as they force their way through the royal champion, but still need to get that multi.
Yeah, did grab that as the super dragons are pathing their way to the middle multi there. With the warden trying to help him, Queen's making her way to the left behind this king. The royal champion is now being used to send in. And will this middle multi go down? We still have all three, the king, queen, and royal champion abilities to use. Using the poison spell onto the king to slow him down. I mean, I believe he's still got a beautiful value left with his abilities, because it's incredible what your hero abilities can get with a few super dragons in the mix as well. And Kronos is looking to put the 3-star. He's celebrating right there, and he's looking like it's going to be good. And this is what Tribe Gaming needs to keep up the pace and stay close in this war.
Absolutely. This is where you really see the reliance of the power of the heroes in this particular attack. You know, it's a very powerful attack when you understand the basic components of it in how the dragons need to be functioned moving through, but it's the heroes that really help support it, and so much left over there. Kronos definitely excelling at this, and I think Tribe Gaming in general, we've known them to be the powerhouses with the drags, even from the World Championships with those drag rider attacks that they were rocking up with.
Yeah, using those super dragons, getting the beautiful value, showing the strength of exactly how to do it, because they can just overwhelm a base, sending them into the core. But that blimp, it was close, not taking out, almost not taking out the town hall. I mean, having to use the invisibility spells, and that's why there was both seeking air mines there to stop exactly a blimp just like that. But Kronos had the plan, the backup plan, I might add, to make sure that the town hall went down. Because if it didn't go down, the raid would have been completely different. Now, Vatang, they triple, they take the lead. It's just going back and forth, and that is what this matchup is looking like it's going to be.
Yeah, this is they're keeping it interesting, they're keeping it close, and definitely keeping us on the edge of our seats to see if there are going to be any slip ups. But it's just like that game of chicken, you know, who's going to really break first on this one. But for Tribe, unfortunately, they're the ones that need to see the break here. And is it going to come from Warning? That could be a tough ask with him coming in using the FlameFlinger Queen charge. Drag rider attack. FlameFlinger we're seeing a lot more of, and with a Quake we know we're going automatically for this town hall, but you do have to be mindful of some key things, looking for any Expos, mortars that could be in range of targeting it, and of course sniping out any possible Teslas on the outside edge of the base.
Indeed, and makes this invisible to make sure that the queen goes to the right side to try to path her way in towards the storage and the scatter shot, and she does just that. And the tunnel is activated. This FlameFlinger is going to be able to help take that down unless some crazy skeletons pop up as it makes its way in towards that to get some beautiful value. Because if you can use the FlameFlinger to grab a town hall, that opens up pretty much any attack in Clash of Clans, and it's incredible value. Now, continuing this queen through this base, has her ability, so no worries here, and 2 poisons to use to try to deal with this clan castle now.
Master minions held off slightly in that poison, it looks like, but the healer's getting pushed back, need to stay in range, keeps that rage on them, on target, and super minions go down nice and fast, so we can send in those drag riders supported by the warden and the royal champ to cut through. Town hall almost down, and we will have some extra reinforcement coming out of that as well to take on some of the surrounding defenses here. Curious to see if it's going to be an additional drag rider to help.
Yeah, look at that. He's also paid attention to his queen. Makes her invisible as she got locked down by the single target Inferno. She steps up and helps take that down. Her ability is easily going to take that down. The FlameFlinger hasn't even opened with the clan castle to come out. And he got all the value with the king now going to the top side. He's providing distraction onto the scatter shot. And this is looking fantastic for warning of Vatang.
This is absolutely stunning. The power of the king on the back end. He has utilized every single option he has in each and every quadrant. And this is a different way to think about breaking down those bases. Often we have our different phases of the attacks, and they focus on cutting through the core of the base, where you can actually take these bit by bit in the quadrants, just as Warning showcased. And showed not only the power of the FlameFlinger, but the use and combination of that queen charge along with it as well.
So at this point, if Tribe Gaming gets a triple, then that's going to force the final attack of this matchup to get a triple as well. And that's what we love to see. Just back and forth, going one side to the other, because the winner of this one is going to advance to take on Queen Waka Stephanie in the next round. And then if you lose, you go down to the lower bracket to take on V and Tompanai. This is the upper bracket because this is a double elimination. You're not eliminated if you lose here. So keep that in mind because they're fighting for their chance at $30,000 prize pool. You have to become in at least third place to get a portion of that right there. So they are trying their best. And we have today and we have tomorrow of incredible matchups here to see all of the action. Definitely don't want to miss it. But Tribe, what is your next attack? We know Exorcist, one of the best attackers in the world, and absolutely crazy with creativity as well. What is he going to bring here to try to close this one off? He's got himself the Queen Charge Lalo, and indeed also mixing in. We're seeing a little bit more use of the Ice Hounds here.
Yeah, the Ice Hounds, definitely we're getting to see a lot more showcase of. I think there's becoming a big appreciation for the Lalo attackers in this, especially when you have the right conjunction of items together. If you have air defenses, scatter shots, heroes like the Queens or Royal Champions together, always a nice position to use those. So we've got Queen charging her way through into that scatter shot position. King already on his way going into that eagle, and we're going to have a nice big jump and forge into the core of the base here.
Oh no, he loses 2 healers just like that to his Queen Charge. That is going to hurt drastically here for Exorcist. So let's see how he's going to be able to keep this Queen alive to move her way through the multi-target Infernos. The King ability goes off, takes out the Eagle Artillery, the another range invisibility onto the Queen. Headhunter's a jump in the wall. So where's the Queen going? She is going straight. Okay, so she's staying in the core. I was worried she was going to go run off to follow the Hound, but she's avoiding the Royal Champion here, and the Queen is making her way to the bottom side of this base.
Yeah, she is making her way through, still has her ability intact, and a couple of healers to keep her alive and well. Royal Champ coming in to sneak through, try and take on that multi here, and shape up the path that this Lalo still needs to get through, avoiding the loons from having to pass through those multi-beams. Queen still hanging in there, taking the final pup down, but not going for the multi yet. Tornado Trap gonna hold those loons right there in place through the multi-beams, and this, it finally goes down. But we need enough power to come in for that Town Hall still. And the Warden hanging on to the ability to carry them through.
And the Warden has ability, pops it now. But the problem is he doesn't have a haste spell to push them through. He needs to take out, oh, the RC's ability goes off and it skips. Multi goes down, air defense goes down as well. Is this gonna be able to have enough? Exorcist, the Queen comes back around to go for the Royal Champion. This Dragon Rider is going to try to be clutch. The Royal Champion is still moving, and it looks like he might just have enough.
I cannot believe he's been able to turn this back around with that start off that came through. Loons coming in for the cleanup. We've got the minions spread around. Queen is still alive in this one. This is absolutely insane. Exactly what Tribe Gaming needed. But Carbon, it is still not enough to carry them through into the upper bracket. They would need a defense to come in and give them that final opportunity.
Vatang holds all the cards right now. They triple, they advance. If they don't, they are going to the lower bracket. And if Tribe goes to the lower bracket, they would be taking on V and Tampanai, and that is an incredible storyline nonetheless right there. They have faced many times, including on the biggest of stages in the Clash of Clans World Championship before. But Tribe is hoping to have at least a 99.9999 defense. You know, that's all you need. Even against the closest, like one sliver of health of a building is all they need to advance to the next round here in the upper bracket. So let's see if the final attacker for Vatang stays calm and does not let the nerves get to them to try to clutch this one up, because we talked about being the fifth and final attacker of your team. Now all the pressure is now on to you to perform. Can Lanzalata do it with this Queen Charge Lalo?
I feel like Queen Charge Lalo is something they're so well versed in that it would be difficult to fall short from this, but you never know what Tribe have up their sleeve defensively. So we start this one off sending in the sneaky goblin blimp, shaping up where the queen is going to start pathing her way to. And we've got this beautiful opening inside the base here. If we can force that king into the scattershot compartment, we can bring the queen inline edge into that full opening, which could be very, very nice.
And notice how, in this base, Exorcist did not put two Seeking Air Mines near the Town Hall, which would stop the blimp, which means that Lancelot did not have to invest in an invisibility spell on his Sneaky Goblins as he was pushing that in to help secure the Town Hall. So now he can use that somewhere else in the raid, which will help. There's a double poison spell onto the CC as this queen is going to charge her way down the core of this base to get all that value, as the king's going to loop his way around and take out that scattershot.
Yeah, this is a beautiful position for the queen, and we're seeing this in a lot of these open style bases. Easy navigation coming through and setting up a much more narrow path for the loons as they push through the back end. But what the queen would really, I would say, want to do is get towards that multi, but it's not reachable for her here. So we're going to have to watch that warden timing to try and pick that on, and the queen can then work her way down and support on the back end. This warding timing might be key coming in to carry these loons through this multi as they struggle quite a bit.
The balloons are thinning out here in the core, but pops that warden ability. Tornado Trap spins these balloons around, but they're absorbing the red air bombs to stay alive. The queen takes an awkward path. She goes down. The healers are gone. We have a freeze. Is this going to be a potential defense? The Royal Champion's trying to come in through the backside with her ability. One freeze left. It's going to come down to these final buildings, but he needs to save a minion at least with the storage off to the left. Because time, all Exorcist needs is a 99% 2-star to hold this as the RC makes her way around with the water, but a ground skelly pops up in front.
Oh, these skellies coming in and giving Tribe Gaming potentially what they need, but the Royal Champ still has some life left to take on the defenses. There's 34 seconds. Warden's alive. We've got the king working through to the storage.
Yeah.
Is there enough time, Carmen?
Warden.
With the
Warden,
the Electro
he's got to save the Headhunter for the gold storage to the bottom side. Is it going to be a time fail? The Warden's going. The minions onto the gold storage to the right. Taking out the Archer Tower. There is the Headhunter on the gold storage. The Bomb Tower with 13 seconds left. With the Owls helping tremendously. Oh, come on, come on. Lancelot. He's cheering.
He's shaking his fist.
And there it is.
Wow.
What
Carbon.
a 3-star.
A buzzer
Incredible.
beater. Like, that is a buzzer beater right there to hold on to that Headhunter. Look at the joy on his face. Oh my goodness.
That was an unbelievable attack to close that one off. Congratulations to Vatang. They will be moving on in the upper bracket to move on to Queen Walker Stephanie. But we are seeing the performance here, and look at that 14-14. We talked about it. You have to be putting up these types of wars in order to have a chance to advance, especially in the upper bracket. And all it came down to was, unfortunately, Fluxy 71% 2-star. There are